Hello, this is RICKY, the Android guy. Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Android Weekly / Android Q&A, where we go over all the latest news that happened during the week and answer your questions live. If you have a question you want to ask, just email me at asktheandroidguy@gmail.com and make sure your subject is question. Now, we start off the episode by going over the latest news topics during the week, but if you have a question you would like to ask, just ask it in the comments section down below. Any and all questions will be answered before the end of the show, so feel free to ask anything you want to ask, and I will answer it before the end of the show. Alright, that being said, let's get to it, and let's start off with the news this week. And we have one big one right away. Of course, we're starting off with the S8. We always have started off with the S8 ever since I feel like November. So the first bit of news this week is the names. We have the official names and logos via Evan Blass. Of course, it's via Evan Blass. So it does look like Samsung is bringing back the Plus. So we are seeing the Samsung Galaxy S8 and S8 Plus. No longer the Edge, because that's too cool of a name, and Samsung rather copy Apple. Why? It is so annoying, so damn annoying. I hate the Plus. And you know the funny thing is, when the first Plus came out 2 years ago with the S6 Edge Plus, worst name of all time, because the full name was the Samsung Galaxy S6 Edge Plus. Worst name. Just horrible. And when the guy told me from Samsung, he was like, oh yeah, because, we're not a plus as in Plus. We are plus as in the symbol for plus. Who cares? No one even searches with the plus symbol. How I know that is because we did videos with both the S6 Edge Plus symbol and the S6 Edge Plus, spelled out plus. Everyone searches for the word plus. They don't search for the symbol plus. So that was basically irrelevant. I wish they didn't do this. I wish Samsung would have came up with their own name, such as the Pixel did with the Pixel XL and other different things like that. So I really wish they would have came up with something better off than just the plus symbol. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. Do you like this name? Do you think it's just, okay, well that makes sense, S8, S8 Plus, or would you have rather seen something different along those lines? Let me know in the comment section down below. What are your thoughts about this name? That being said, let's get to the next part of the S8. This one is just more renders given off from the looks we know, so you can kind of see the look and design of the S8. We've gone over a lot of different photos, but I thought for those who are tuning in maybe for the first time for Android Weekly, this is what we've been going over for the past couple weeks. If you want to know every and anything about it, all of the stuff that's been happening, just let me know in the comment section down below. And again, we've gone over this over the past couple videos, so check out all of our past Android Weeklies to get launch dates, announcements, all the features, storage, every screen size, everything and anything we've talked about. All right. The last bit of information can be a really bad piece of information if this is true. Samsung's Bixby might not be powered by Viv, but might just be powered by S-Voice, which no one likes S-Voice. S-Voice has never been really reliable. S-Voice has never been that great. So why would they base it off of it? Just to make it more of an assistant type style, like a revamp of the assistant? This means if this is true, I will not be using Bixby at all. I will be using Google Assistant because Google Assistant has proven very good. Now, why is this such a dramatic change from what we've been hearing for a while? Well, Viv Labs is the company that created Siri. And what they did was they created a better version of Siri, and that is what we were expecting to get with the S8. And it looks like we might not get it now, and Bixby might just be a revamp of S-Voice. If this is true, not that good of a feature, definitely not what I was hoping for. So yeah, and again, this comes from Sam Mobile. Always definitely check them out. One of the top websites we always source here at Android Weekly. For another bit of information from Trendy Techs, we see the file patent for a flexible display phone. Now, this would be the Galaxy X or Project Valley we've been hearing so much about, which could be this year with the Note or could be next year on its own. Really, overall, this is what we've been seeing before. Again, you have a fold-in type of display coming in and closing. It's so funny because it really actually, from this side, it looks like kind of like a 3DS. From Nintendo, it looks similar to that. And from this side, it looks like an old Sony tablet that used to be a clamshell, but this would be a screen. So this would actually be a display, and so would this be. So pretty interested to see if this comes to fruition. I will tell you, I will take the jump. I will try out a bendable phone. If it's $1,000, I will try it. Doesn't matter. That's what I will pay for this phone, because I do have a feeling that that's what this phone will be. I have a feeling this phone will be $1,000 to $1,200 for the first flexible display phone, just to limit the amount of people that are going to buy it, so that they can obviously have more. They'll have a higher price point to kind of nix out some people. And that's not the only company that'll do that, but we'll talk about the iPhone in a second. So that's going to be the Galaxy X. When we will get it, will we get it this year? Will we get it next year? We'll have to wait and see how much of damage did the Note 7 prolong this device. And speaking of over $1,000, the iPhone 8, it's not going to be called the iPhone 8, guys. You guys are not getting an iPhone 8 this year. You guys will be getting the 10th anniversary iPhone or the iPhone X. So the iPhone X will be more than $1,000. They will not name it the 8. It's going to be the iPhone 7, 7 Plus, and iPhone X. Those will be the 3 iPhones released then, plus another iPhone in March, but that'll be on a separate video April, not March. That will be talked about in another video that I'll do on all the releases for Samsung and Apple, and that will be coming this week. I'll do a video on that. So yeah, but just like I said last year, the iPhone X will be coming out this year alongside the 7 and 7S, and 7S and 7S Plus. This one will be the iPhone X, and it will be over $1,000. Why will it be over $1,000? Because that's how they're going to limit it. They're not going to be able to produce that many of these phones, so they're going to limit it because most people will not have this phone at this price point. Look, the iPhone 7 Plus is, I believe, $849, I want to say. So you're talking about $200 more compared to that phone, and that's what you're probably going to get. It's probably going to be just over $1,000, or my guess is it could be at $949 or $999, right at that price point, right at the $1,000 price point, and with tax you're paying over $1,000. That's what I bet it will be. It will be a 5.8-inch screen, so a little bit bigger. And again, we'll go over all the details on both the X phones coming out later this year. Not to mention, the iPhone X will also have wireless charging. I have talked about this a couple times already, but if you're again new to the show, the iPhone X is going to be a glass backing instead of a metal backing so that it can have wireless charging, and it looks like it's pretty much a definite now, as I've said since last year. Now, we do have some other news. First one comes from Lenovo, and I wanted your guys' opinion. Let me know in the comment section down below. Do you want me to review this tablet? I have not reviewed a tablet in a while, but I would definitely look forward to this tablet. The Lenovo Yoga A12 is a bendable, or not a bendable, but a clamshell tablet basically, because it has the keyboard that we saw on the other phones, and you could detach Lenovo from it. So it's 2.2 pounds and has a touchpad keyboard with it for $299. Really good price point for it, so really interesting to see just how this would work. Now, it has an Intel Atom processor. We haven't used too many of those on Android here on the channel, so I would be curious to see how it would work. If you guys are interested, I will try to reach out to Lenovo. Or, as always, actually, I will just say this, as I always ask you guys to do, I will reach out to Lenovo, but it always helps when you guys reach out to them as well. So, if you can, get on Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram. You see the links right down there, or not the links, but my name on each of those right down there. go ahead and ask them. Lenovo at Lenovo. I think it might be at Lenovo US, but at Lenovo, please send the Yoga A12 to Ask the Android Guy to review, so I can review it for you guys. All right, and yeah, I'm really kind of curious. I don't know about that keyboard, to be honest. I really am not sure about the keyboard. Very interested in it, but I'm not sure how it'll work out. All right, in other news, we do have some other news on, of course, the LG G6, which is also coming out, and this one is going to be announced February 26th. We have an all-screen design, is what they're calling it, or a big screen rather. So it really looks like they might go for 5.7 inches with this screen. However, keep in mind, will that be with the second screen? Because that second screen doesn't seem like that great. So then it's really like a 5.5 inch phone. So maybe about the screen size of this phone, the S7 Edge, 5.5 inch screen, but 5.7 with the dual screen. So maybe it'll be like that. But not only that, we might finally have a release date for the LG G6. This comes from Phone Arena, and it does look like it could be April 7th. So that is interesting. I never thought LG would go that late. I thought for sure LG would launch in March, but they are going to be launching on the 7th. That is really getting close to when, we expect Samsung to launch mid-April. Phone Arena right here says they're expected to be April 21st. I think they might be the week before that, but who knows? But it's really interesting to see when these dates are coming in. Let me know what you guys think. I think that's a little too late. I think LG needs to pounce in March when it has a separation from iPhone and Samsung to be better off, especially because iPhone is still going to release their iPhone 6 SE during around that time. So I don't think it's a good time for them. But let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. In other news, Motorola G5 Plus leaked. It looks like it has a bit of a improvement design, but more so, really good display as always, fingerprint scanner with NFC. You have a 33,000 milliamp battery and an octa-core processor. So overall, good bump up, it looks like overall, but I'm really curious to see how it goes. It might be announced at MWC, and hopefully we'll get our review units shortly thereafter to bring them to you guys. All right, and the last bit of information, we are, of course, going to talk about the new Android Wear 2.0 smartwatches that no one really likes. Unfortunately, I have long said that Android Wear was not my favorite watch OS. I have long stuck with Samsung's Tizen because I feel it's a much better polished smartwatch OS. Now, if you want to compare Tizen as a smartphone OS compared to Android OS, obviously that's, Tizen's a child's toy with that. But really, when it comes to smartwatches, Android has just not impressed me. And these two watches show why it's more of a mediocre thing. The style doesn't have good style. It doesn't look that good. And the smartwatch from LG in terms of the sport didn't really reflect the best in terms of it. Yeah, I am just not that interested in these two watches specifically. Are you guys really interested in this version? I mean, I could get it just to show Android Wear 2.0 off, but it is going to be coming to the LG Urbane, which I still have. So I'd rather review it on that watch than on these. Overall, these two watches, the sport is huge. I have seen it in person. I just feel it's too big. I mean, it makes the Gear S3 look small. It really, this watch really is big. And overall, I just feel they need to do a bit more of a step up on this one. I think the Urbane LTE was a better version compared to these, especially because these ones you can't even change the bands. The bands have the antennas, so therefore you cannot change out the band. Let me know what you guys think. Were you really excited about this update, or did you feel more about it like I did, which was it's okay, but nothing to wow factor? Because that's how I felt about it. All right, let's get to the questions that were emailed to me this week. Again, if you want to email me your question, just email me at asktheandroidguy@gmail.com and I'll answer your question hopefully next week. Now, the first question comes from Alex. Alex here's, I have been hearing rumors about the S8 Active may be like. I haven't heard that much about the Active at all, really. One popular rumor I have been hearing is, will it be able to be used on Verizon and other carriers? Do you think this is true if it will be available on other carriers? I doubt it. AT&T has not been doing the greatest right now, and I think they need every thing they could use to, overcome that. And the Active is an exclusive phone, meaning you have to be on AT&T to get it. I think that's what AT&T needs and what should have. So unless other carriers are really tired of, because I'll tell you, other carriers, people go into a T-Mobile store, into a Verizon store, into a Sprint store, and they say, "Oh, can I get the Active?" And the associates have to basically say, "No, that's only at AT&T. We don't carry that phone." So I think it's a feature that AT&T shouldn't let go of. I have not heard any rumors about the S8 Active. Unfortunately, nothing, at least I would believe, as factual, but we'll have to wait and see. Hey Ricky, can you please help me? I've tried to enable my VPN, but it refused. VPN, the best VPN to get on Android is, what was it? I said it in one of my last videos. No, it's a red icon. VPN. Oh, that's right. I'm on my Wi-Fi. Or I'm not on my Wi-Fi. Android VPN. Just wanna, let's see if I can pull that up real quick, because I do have a favorite VPN for that, but I can't think of what it's called. Opera VPN. There you go. Opera VPN. Opera VPN is my favorite VPN on Android. So if you do want a great VPN for Android, just enable it, and that's that simple. One of the reasons why you want to use VPNs is if you're on a unsecured network like I just thought of it, Starbucks or a McDonald's or a hotel or anything like that. A private VPN will make it so people can't get onto your device. The second reason why you would want a VPN is, say you are overseas and you want to use Netflix or YouTube. Well, you might not have that available in the country you are visiting. So a VPN will tell the Wi-Fi, no, I'm in the US right now. And that way you can play it as normal with your subscriptions. I heard Samsung bought all the Snapdragon 835s, forcing LG to settle for the 821. That is true. The LG G6 will not have the 835, and neither will any kind of other phone, at least at this time. My guess is there won't be another 835 processor phone till after May. Lola asks, I broke my screen on the Note 5. I would like to connect it to my laptop to see text messages. Do you know of any app software that would allow me to do that? Two, actually. The free one is Smart Switch. So Smart Switch is a software that Samsung itself has, which allows you to pull all of your text messages and allows you to transfer them to a new phone when you would get the new Samsung phone. Now, if you are getting something else or just want to back up your text messages to install on another phone, you can do that with a program for a PC or Mac called Doctor Phone, spelled Phone. That will allow you to recover your text messages. It'll also allow you to remove a password on the phone if you have that. However, that does cost money depending on what you want to do. And the last one comes from Christopher. I like your videos. You have one of the best videos. Thank you. Appreciate that. Do you use Android Authority as your source? I rarely use Android Authority. Most of the ones that I use for our sources here are the most often ones are Phone Arena and Sam Mobile. Those are my best two sources for news. However, I do look at everyone else from Android Authority to The Verge to Engadget to Pocket Now to Mr. Mobile. I do look at a lot of them, but my main two for sources are typically Phone Arena and Sam Mobile. Simply because with Sam Mobile, they do the best Samsung coverage out of anyone, and Phone Arena, I would say, is the best overall website when it comes to articles, in my opinion, for breaking news. All right. Oh, and when does the SA come out? We've talked about that in a couple of videos. April is when it'll come out, and March 29th seems to be the announcement day, according to Evan Blass. Can you review the S8, Note 8, and iPhone 8 and benchmark between all three of them? There's not that many benchmarks to go between all three phones. Geekbench is probably the only one that does work on all three platforms, and it's not a very good source of doing anything but processor. So I could do that on processor, but for graphics, the iOS version doesn't perform that well on the graphics benchmark. So it's not a good benchmark tester across OSs. I always do benchmark tests for new Android devices because we can use the same 4 benchmarks that we always use, but we can't use it for iOS, unfortunately, because it's just not clear cut. All right, now let's get to the questions that you have asked during the chat board. Again, we are going to get to all the questions in the chat board, so make sure you start asking them now, and I will answer them before the end of the show. Nate asks, Ricky, are you upset about the name SA Plus? I remember you said you didn't like that name. As you found out earlier, yes, I am. Hey, what up, Ricky? How do you feel about the S8 and the Note 8 coming, and about the S8? The S8, the Note 8 won't come out until August, so that's coming out normal time. But the S8, I mean, yeah, I mean, I'm excited for it. I want the phone, you know. I'm definitely excited to get the phone. Have you ever tried out the Samsung NX line of cameras? Just got me a NX2000 and an NX Mini. I have. I really did like the NX cameras. I thought they were really good. I thought about getting one until Samsung really stopped producing cameras for my main camera. As some of you may know, the camera that I currently use is the Lumix G7. So the one you're seeing me right now on, and the one that does about 95% of our videos is this camera. And this is the one that I currently use, is the Lumix G7. For me, it's the best camera, really. It's more affordable for under $1,000. It does everything I need it to do. Mainly, it has a mic out in it, and it does a really good job of indoor quality. I debated between this one and the Sony, but the Sony was rather more expensive. And although that one's the best for over $1,000, I feel for under $1,000, the G7 was the best at the time. And now the G85 would be the one I would want now. I possibly might upgrade to that this year. I've definitely been looking at it, and we're working on a new camera setup over in this area for the studio. So you might see a video come out this week that looks a little bit different, and we're going to be playing with some things in order to get the perfect new setup as well. Maybe some other announcements are coming in about 2 weeks. So yeah. What do you think about the Samsung S8 and the Plus not having a physical button and having a having a screen fingerprint? So here's the thing, tech for your needs. Right now, if you saw those pictures we looked at earlier, it doesn't show that we're going to have a fingerprint scanner on the screen. It shows when we're going to have one back here, specifically where the current heart rate sensor is. That is where your fingerprint scanner is going to be. I personally am not a fan of that. I would love it to be on the screen, just boom, right there. That's fine. I don't need a physical home button. I have gotten used to it. But my thing is, I do hope that it's a pressure one, kind of like Apple's iPhone, if it does have a fingerprint scanner. So you can push on it, and then it scans your finger, and then you know you did it right. I would say that would be a better way. Maybe not as stiff as Apple's. Apple's is too much of a button. Too much like a trackpad, I would say. I would want just, some kind of feedback, even maybe like a vibration motor, like on the screen, like if you touch it, it goes off. But I would love a screen fingerprint, but it looks like we might not get that till the Note 8. When do you think Xiaomi Mi Mix 2 will be released? I don't think it's going to be released in the US, to be honest. I do not think Xiaomi has plans to release it in the US. It has only been released in China, no other country thus far. Which sucks because that means you don't have the Google apps and you have to do a whole bunch of things to get the Google apps on there. What do you think will happen in Avengers Infinity War? Tweeted you the video about it. Yes, I did see that desktop. Thank you for that. I actually did see it before, and then when you sent it to my Twitter, I saw it again, because why not? I will be doing a video on that. I actually have a big video on which of two ways will Marvel go for Phase 4, because it's really interesting to see where Infinity War is going to happen. But I have a really interesting idea of where they're going with Phase 4. It's one of two ways, and one's a secret war, and one's a galactic war. So there you go. Hi, Rick. What do you think is the best cheap earbuds, meaning $50 or less? I just have not reviewed that many earbuds at $50 or less. Audio Technica is pretty good. I like those. Honestly, my best earbuds, I've been a big fan of Shure earphones for a long time. I love their quality. I think they're really good. Audio Technica is a really great company for earbuds as well. But those are the ones that I stick to. I don't stick to, Skull Candy. I feel is such a hit or miss, and I've never really paid attention to the ones that Samsung or LG offers for those kind of things. So yeah. 256 gig storage in the S8 series or not? Not. I do not believe we will get any 256 gigs of storage for the S8. There has still not been any mention of a higher storage. So yeah, if I were to bet, I would say 32 or 64 is all we're getting, with still being able to add up to 256 gig memory card. So Lex doesn't mind the name of the S8 Plus symbol, so there you go. Samsung factory blew up in China due to the exploding phones. So this was reported very poorly. This is what happened with that explosion in the China factory. So this explosion happened at Samsung SDI facility in China, meaning it's a Samsung battery factory, and they were getting rid of the batteries in a controlled environment, and smoke was coming from the factory, and so the locals called the firemen, and the firemen came down, said, "Oh God, Samsung has a fire in their factory," and the fire was from disposing of the batteries in a controlled environment where no one got hurt, nothing was unexpected, it was all going according to plan. But what the media reported was fire and explosions in Samsung factory battery company. That's what they kind of did. So yeah, that's all that happened. I have a question. Since the S8 will have a home button, the S8 will not have a home button. They will have a fingerprint scanner, but not a home button. I heard the iPhone 8 will do the same. The iPhone X will do what the current iPhone does. Do you know if the iPhone will have a dual camera or wireless charging? Since it's glass on glass, it will have a dual camera and it will have wireless charging on the iPhone X. The S8 looks so good. I hope it doesn't have the explode feature the Note 7 had. I don't think it will have that. Guys, what's going on? I just got here. Well, we're just talking about stuff. What's the best ROMs for the S8? Or sorry, for the S7. I've been out of the ROMs game, to be honest. I mean, for me, I just go, whatever's the most popular downloaded one. You go to XDA developers, you see which one's downloaded the most, and you trust that one. Why? Because of the fact that the one that's downloaded the most is going to be supported the most because he's making the most money off of it. The S8 names are, oh, someone answered it for you, S8 and S8 Plus. Uh, Different going to switch to the definitely going to switch to the iPhone X this year. Well, we'll see if it goes. Yeah, the iPhones are a little too expensive. I wonder, should I get a Switch or the iPhone? Um, See, my thing is the Switch just doesn't have enough games. I want to buy the Switch, but it just doesn't have enough games. If they bring like, if the Switch does this, if the Switch brings a bunch of SNES games and all that kind of stuff, I might get it. Look, I stop by in my day-to-day job. I stop by coffee shops, restaurants, everything like that, and I get work done and relax. So I would love to do that. If I'm on a 15-minute break or a 10-minute break, just bust out the Switch, play some games. That would be awesome. But it needs more games. It needs more games. Um, you work for Fun Arena now? No, I do not work for Fun Arena. I do not work for Phone Arena. I do not work for Phone Arena. I said I get some articles from Phone Arena and Sam Mobile as well, but I do not. I'm not affiliated with either one. I met some of the Phone Arena guys at CES. Great guys. I mean, awesome too. But no, I do not work for Phone Arena. I don't know where anyone got that. No. Um, do you like Samsung? Oh, do you feel like Samsung is letting you down? I feel like Samsung will let me down with the fingerprint scanner in the back. I will hear their explanation when it comes out and everything like that, but that is a little bit of a letdown for me. I wanted the fingerprint scanner on the front. I do not like fingerprint scanners on the front. Or sorry, on the back. You don't like fingerprint scanners on the back. That video that I made, that basically everyone saw about the S7 or sorry S8 getting a fingerprint scanner on the back. So many of you agreed with me. So many of you agree that you do not like it on the back. Why? There's two big things. If it's laying on a flat surface, you have to pick it up to unlock it. That's annoying. The second thing, and they better have one thing, I swear, Samsung, you better have a double tap feature like LG and like other ones that have fingerprint scanners on the back too. Because if you don't have that, that will be annoying as hell. The other big thing is that the fingerprint scanner on the back, also, I drive, right? My phone is mounted like this, and it's mounted so it has a grip on the back. I'm not going to be able to get to the fingerprint scanner back there either. On this one, at least I could have gone like this. So, yeah. Off topic, Battlefield 1 or Titanfall 2. To be honest, I've not been in the first-person shooter game for a long time. I was back in the day of Counter-Strike, Team Fortress, and all that kind of stuff. I've loved the kind of stuff I've seen from Titanfall 2, Battlefield 1, always, of course, Call of Duties, and even, of course, Overwatch, but I've not been into any of them. It's been a long time, just have not been into it. I did play Battlefront, the Star Wars game, when it came out. It was just too much of a geek-gasm for me not to play it. But, of course, that game was minimal at best, and I ended up training it in maybe like 2 months after I bought it. $1,000? I think this is going to be the first year. I think this is going to be my last year with iPhone. Well, don't forget, iPhone will still have the iPhone 7S and 7S Plus. Those will be the small upgrades, and the iPhone X will have the big upgrade. Do you think the upcoming Nokia phone will beat Apple and Samsung? I have high hopes for it. So here's the thing, Desktop. It will not beat it in the US. So what I mean by that is Nokia does not have as good of a brand name in the US. Nokia has not had a good brand name in the US since feature phones. All of their smartphones were not big in their US. They just never were. Motorola basically took over for the midstream line, and iPhone took over for the smartphone line over here in the US. Nokia didn't. In Europe and in Asia, Nokia was a lot bigger. So for that reason, I feel that Nokia will do very well there, just for the brand name alone. But it's really curious to see how big of an impact they do. I think if they make an impact, they might, beat out smaller companies. But I do not see them getting anywhere near Samsung and iPhone this year. Maybe in 3 to 5 years, who knows if they could be at that level. And I mean in terms of sales, obviously not in terms of quality. I'm just talking about in terms of sales. They will not be anywhere near iPhone or Samsung, even for that matter, for 3 to 5 years. I mean, you can't over expect either. Look, I mean, companies like Huawei and Xiaomi are third and fourth, but they've been at it for a while too. So it takes time. I turned in my Note 7, went back to my Note 4. I feel like I'm living in the Stone Age. My question is, when will I know exactly when I can get the Galaxy S8? My guess is at the announcement. They usually tell you when the pre-orders start. What week in April is the S8 coming? Like I said, Phone Arena said the 21st. However, we did hear from Sam Mobile about 4 weeks ago, or yeah, about a month ago, that it would be the third week of April. So April, I just remember it was the week of my mom's birthday, which is April 18th. When will it actually come out? We'll find that out later. Oh no, actually that lines up, because the week of April 18th would. So yeah, it looks like the 21st is what multiple sources are saying now. I am not sure if this has been resolved, but what is the deal with the fingerprint reader? Is it going to be integrated in the screen, or will it be moved to the back? It will be moved to the back. The one on the screen doesn't look like it's ready yet, from what we're hearing from all the latest sources. So it looks like we won't get that one till next, or not until next year until next year on the S series. But my hope is that the Note 8 will have it on the screen. LG are releasing the phone too close to the fire. No pun intended. Oh, that pun was intended. That's hilarious. I don't know if you know, but Sam Mobile is going to start uploading daily news. Excited. I'm looking forward to it. Yeah, I saw that. I did see that Sam Mobile did their first daily news today, so I thought that was really cool. So yeah, really fun for that. Can you do a video about a USB killer versus a Tesla? I really like to know what happens. A USB killer versus a Tesla? Like something that, like, okay, first of all, I'm not going to, like, I'm not sure what you mean. Explain on that, because if it's what you, I think you mean, no. But let me definitely explain about that. What do you think? Which one will be better, the LG G6 or the LG V20? The G6 will be better. When will the S8 be coming out? Thank you, Daily, for answering that. I have a V20. I'm looking forward to the G6. I think it will be a good upgrade from the V20 personally. I do think that it will be a better upgrade overall for that. Sorry, just moving the mic so I can easily read some of these longer questions that you guys are asking. Actually, you know what? I'll just simplify that. There you go. By the way, do you still have a Note 7? I still have a Note 7, yes. Have you heard Verizon has unlimited data now? That's very surprising. Yes, I did hear. Verizon has launched an unlimited data plan. $80 for one person and $45 each for a family of 4. Very interesting. Very interesting. I will be looking into that. I left Verizon 3 years ago because of the unlimited data plans were very hard to maintain, and they were starting to overcharge people. It was just ridiculous. And so I left, and I went to T-Mobile a while back. I've never had any interest in going back to Verizon. I've been very happy with T-Mobile. But this is an interesting thing. I am very curious what T-Mobile's response will be, because that was their main jab at Verizon. So what are they going to say now? Now, what T-Mobile did was they got rid of fees, which was really cool. So yeah, and Verizon did it because it's definitely an interesting thing. Um, Opera VPN, Tunnel Bear. I've heard of Tunnel Bear. I prefer Opera VPN for first-time users. Tunnel Bear is I feel you can do a little bit more advanced things, but for first-time users, I would recommend Opera VPN. Are you going to review the new Samsung Chromebook? I will reach out to Samsung. If you can, Maria, and as I always ask you guys again, just if you can, what I always ask you guys to do is please, oops, wrong one. Please go to Twitter, go to Facebook, go to these sources, and let them know at Samsung. Whoops. At Samsung, please send the Android guy a Chromebook. I would love to review it. Tag me on it. Tag them on it. And yeah, I would love to review the Chromebook. I think it's a great device. I would love to review the Chromebook Pro. It seems like a really well worth product. Some people already got theirs, and we didn't get it over here. So hopefully we'll be getting it. But yeah, I agree. I would like to review it, but we'll see. Nothing is really unlimited because they throttle you at data speeds. Yeah, it really does depend. I feel like if you go over, some of them they're all around the 20s, right? Some are at 22, some are at 28. I know when I was in Vegas, I was using my internet a lot, so T-Mobile said they would throttle me after 28 gigs. So that's when I went over. I went over, like, I think I went 35 or something like that. I explained what Opera VPN was. Will there be an update for the Gear Fit 3? I want to know if it's going to get a cheap alternative to the Gear Watch and wait for it. There will not be a Gear Fit 3, I believe, till the note. Now, Samsung did file a trademark name for the Gear Fit Pro. Could be coming out different time than normal, but usually the Gear Fits come out the same time as the watches. But could Samsung be changing it up? Yes. 1 minute before you started the stream, everything Apple Pro uploaded a huge Samsung S8 video. I'll check it out afterward. Let me search that. I'll check that out after. Is the S8 going to have an IR blaster? As of right now, we have not heard of them bringing back the IR blaster at all. Will it have Bixby and what is how cool it will be? What's your daily driver? My current daily driver is the S7 Edge, and I'm testing out the Huawei Mate 9 as my secondary phone right now for the review. For Bixby, it will have Bixby on it, but we now might see it being powered by S-Voice, kind of like an updated S-Voice, which is nowhere near as good as the Viv Labs version. Don't think so. I know the LG V20 and the Honor 8 has an IR blaster from last year. S6 and S6 Edge had it. I still have a Galaxy S6 that I travel with specifically for my IR blaster. What apps are on your phone and your Gear S3? I will do actually a video on what's on my phone. So I will be doing a video on that in the upcoming week, actually. That is scheduled already. In terms of what's on my Gear S3, not too much. For the most part, I have theater mode. Let's see which ones I have on there, because I just reset it, because after doing the whole iPhone one, I did that. I have the Trulia one just because been looking into it a little bit more, even though we can't afford a house yet. Me and my wife have just been looking into it a little bit. Tip estimator, discount calculator, Uber, Yelp. Yep, that's about it right now. Is there a way to transfer apps from internal storage to the SD card all at once instead of one by one? Thanks. No. You're talking about in terms of like moving over an app to the internal to the SD card. It's unfortunately you have to do it all. So there are apps that let you do it, and they will help you do it. Clean Master. will help you do it, but it's just basically loading them all up at the same time, and then you're still doing the exact same steps you would be doing, but they're just making it a little bit more streamlined for you. But that is the only one that actually could help you make it quicker. I would do that and then uninstall it after. When will there be the three next Moto Z lineup generation? I love those phones. They came out around May or June, if I'm not correct. I want to say it was from May to July. At some point, that's when the Moto phones came out. Hi Ricky, will the S8 include a Bluetooth pair of earbuds, or does it still have the regular earbud jack? That has been debated. We have seen schematics without it and with it. The latest schematics show with the headphone jack. Will that stay true? We'll have to wait and see. What is the best free and cheap VPN? Thanks. The best free one is Opera VPN. What are you going to do with the S7 Edge when you buy your S8? I trade my phone in. iPhone X price, it will most likely be $949 or $999, making it over $1,000 with tax. What do you think about the second version of the Xiaomi Mi Mix? When do you think the second version of the Xiaomi Mi Mix will be released in China? They've had some delays because their big guy Hugo left to go work at Facebook for Oculus VR. But yeah, I'm not sure. I would have liked if Samsung would have called it their next flagship the S8 Elite or the S8 Edge. I like that. Why didn't they? That is a good one. Good job with that, man. That is so much better. You know what? I'm gonna even reach out to Samsung about that. I think that would have been so much of a better name. The Elite would be a bigger variant. Yeah, no, that makes so much sense. I completely agree. I'm still waiting for Android Nougat on the Samsung Galaxy Tab S2 9.7. Yeah, I still haven't gotten mine yet either. Should I get the S7 Edge? No, I would not get it yet. I would wait till the S8 comes out, and then the S7 Edge will go for about $100 cheaper. About this fingerprint scanner on the S8, I think it's better on the back. Reminds me of the Nexus 6P. The front fingerprint scanner on the Note 5 and S7 Edge sucks. Scratches easily, doesn't work anymore. I've had my S7 Edge now for almost a year now exactly, and yeah, scratches have not messed it up at all. How is the marriage life? What did you have planned for Valentine's? So the funny thing is we actually celebrated Valentine's Day already. I planned things for Friday and Saturday. So for Friday, she's a big fan of a show called Top Chef. If any of you guys know that show, we watch it every year. And so one of her favorite ones, Michael V, I forget his last name, Vitalgio or something like that, has a restaurant called Ink. So I took her to that Friday. And then Saturday, she had been hinting over the years that like she had never gone to Griffith Observatory, which is in Los Angeles in the Hollywood Hills, and you can literally see Hollywood behind you, so really nice. And so she had wanted to go there. I said, great. So basically, I did a show there, a show that they have there, booked it. We walked around a little bit. It was cold, so she didn't really want to stay afterward, as I thought we would have walked around afterward, but it was cold, so she was like, "Let's get out of here." You know, she's petite, so she wants to be out of the cold. And then we went to another restaurant called Jar, and Jar is from another Top Chef winner, and Jar was our favorite one out of the two, and so yeah, it was really nice. Oh, I also made her breakfast in bed. I had to wake up like at 6 a.m. because she wakes up at like 7 a.m. So I had to wake up at 6 a.m., made her breakfast in bed with chocolates, and I got a chai tea latte from Starbucks. And the only thing we're doing for Valentine's Day is giving the gifts. So I have 2 gifts I'm giving her on Valentine's Day. And that's it. That was our Valentine's. But why did we go on that day? That way we save a lot of money. Those restaurants, we paid for about $150, $100 for the meal with the tip and everything. But those restaurants on Valentine's Day will probably be $200, $300. So yeah. Always celebrate it the week and before or after Valentine's Day, and you save a lot of money. I have a Samsung S5 now. Godspeed. Do you like the Google Home roast you back? Yes. So my our viewer Rob definitely showed me a really cool thing on Facebook, and basically he posted that like a Google Home. Someone put it on what's that thing called where all the ratchetness happens? World Hip Hop World or World Hip Hop or something like that. Basically, but and it was basically like he would say something and Google would talk smack back. So I will do a video of something like that. Like I've thought of I thought of some things I could do with it, and so yeah, I will do a video on that, on how you could actually say something and have Google talk back to you, and you know it could Google could cuss you out or talk smack or whatever about you, but it's really jokes that you do. So I'll show you guys how to do that. Um, Sorry if you already answered this, but will there be a Note 8? If so, what do you believe the specs will look like? Too early to talk about specs, to be honest, but the Note 8 should be coming out in August normal time. Have anyone played Dreadnought? I have not. I'm not buying the S8 if the fingerprint sensor is on the back. I'll wait for the Note 8. A lot of people feel that way. Ricky, the fingerprint, you can switch the screen on, use the password PIN. So for me, the Nexus 6P is fine having it on the back, and people feel that that's fine. I don't, and it's just a preference. You know, it's a preference that people have. I do not. I have the Pixel XL still right now. I have the Nexus 6P. I don't like the fingerprint scanner on the back. I feel it's much better on the front. That's my opinion. That's from experiencing all three of those phones. It's just the way I feel. What are the names of the S8? Didn't hear. People have said it, posted on there, but S8 and S8 Plus. I have an S7 Edge for Verizon. Any idea when I'm supposed to get Nougat? Before the end of this month. It's supposed to be for Verizon, but we'll see. What new feature do you think the S8 will bring to the table? S7 had always on display. Note 7 had iris scanner. I'm curious to see that actually. You know, the S8 should have the iris scanner. We see every image has the extra sensors for the iris scanner, so it should still have that. It'll have always on display. I do feel that it will have the double tap, so double tap the screen and wake up the phone. What else will it have though? It's a good question. I mean, Bigsby's supposed to be the big thing. Bigsby's supposed to be the next big thing, but we'll see. I'm with T-Mobile. They give me 20 gigs before they throttle me. Yeah. Will Verizon throttle T-Mobile after 20 gigs? Verizon, I believe, said 22. I could be mistaken, but when I read their article and their announcement, I think they said 22. It could be 20. I still have the Note 7. Will Samsung and Verizon let me exchange for the S8? I don't believe so, actually. I would go now and return that Note 7 because they're not supposed to let you exchange that Note 7 for the S8 from what they had said upon the return. Could they have changed their mind about that? Yes, but as far as I know, they were not supposed to allow that. So... $80. Wow, I will play less for 3 phones in Israel. About $40 for all 3. I have heard the Samsung Tab S3 from. So the Samsung Tab S3 is supposed to be announced at MWC before the end of this month. What are your thoughts on Google VR? Do you think Apple will have their alternative for the iPhone X? No, so Apple will not have virtual reality. They're going to have augmented reality, kind of like the HoloLens. However, augmented reality isn't anywhere near ready for this kind of price range. So I don't feel that Apple will have it until maybe 2 more years. I think Samsung will not make Bixby powered by S Voice. They bought a company. They know S Voice is terrible. Uh, yeah. Well, here's the thing. What if Bixby wasn't ready to be powered by Viv? That would be the big thing. And they were like, okay, well, we'll start it off with S Voice and then we'll finish it later with them, you know? Because of the crappy things, the S8, is it still logic to wait for the S10 to refill? I mean, it's up to you how long you would wait for it, but yeah. What do you think about the mid-range phones? They're cheaper than flagships and can do the same thing as they can do. So, mid-range phones are really good overall, but for the price, you do miss out on some things. Namely, as of right now, no mid-range phone does wireless charging or waterproofing. That is two things that I would want in my phone nowadays, especially wireless charging. If I had a phone like the Mate 9 have wireless charging, man, that would really kind of like, ooh, that $200 less really starts to kick in then. So yeah, but that would be my thing. Um, what can Samsung do to sell more smartphones? I think they need to promote them more on TV. I think Samsung needs to promote more. Oh, so sorry, more smartwatches. I think they definitely need to promote more of the smartwatches on TV, especially Samsung Pay on the smartwatch, showing that you can use it at any register. That is something people still do not realize. People still do not realize Samsung Pay can be used at any register. They still don't realize Samsung, you need to advertise more about that. Uh, what's better, the Xbox Elite controller or the Scuff controller? Everyone, I think, has a different opinion. Which one is better? The Scuff controller. What is that? I have not heard of that. Oh, Scuff controller can be added on to either whatever gaming console got it. So it can be added on to the. It can actually be added onto the Xbox Elite controller as well as the Xbox as well as the PS4. I have not personally tried it, but I don't have an Xbox. I don't play Xbox, so yeah. Is the iPhone 8 and the iPhone 8 Plus going to be better than the S8? There will be no iPhone 8 this year. It'll be an iPhone 7, there will be an iPhone 7s, 7s Plus, and iPhone X. There will be no iPhone 8. Will they be better than the S8? Usually not, but we'll see. World Star, thank you, Rob. I like the S5, best phone to date. I've been using cell phones since the early 90s. Everyone has their preference. I have a Xiaomi Mi Mix, and they are one of the, and you are the best one giving us tips on it. When are you getting yours? I'm waiting for mine, but I'll contact Xiaomi again. I haven't talked to them since CES, so hopefully we can get one. When when is what coming out? I just told the S8 will be announced 3/29 and the market in Taiwan around middle of March. Yep, I prefer the fingerprint scan on the front. So 3/29, meaning, yeah, that they will be announced 3/29. Yeah, that's what we've heard too. When will the Gear S4 come out? The Gear S4 will come out with the Note. The watches typically comes out with the Note phones. Ricky, do you use Nova Launcher? I use Nova Launcher for every one of my main phones. Mark my words, Samsung won't name the next Note the Note 8 simply because Apple will create an iPhone X, naming it obviously with the Note 7. Mark my words, they will name it the Note 8. That has already been confirmed by Samsung 3 times that they said their next Note will be the Note 8. So the fact that they would go back on that is pretty unlikely. They have publicly said the Note 8 3 times. But that being said, they have also stated that the Galaxy X, well, they haven't stated, but all the rumors and all that, the Galaxy X would be the bendable phone, and that would be their trump card against the iPhone X. Uh, will there be a home button? No, there will not be a physical home button. It's funny how Verizon throttled you at 22 gigs because their other plan, they is 24. They probably charge you twice as much though. Yeah. Ricky, do you think the A5 2016 is a good phone? I think the A series is great phones. Unfortunately, we never have gotten them in the US, so I've never gotten a chance to test them out. Um, when will the other winners be announced? The winners for the end of this month. So, for those of you who didn't know, we are giving away 2 products this month. We are giving away the Google Daydream, and we are giving away an Echo Dot from Amazon. So both of those will be sent out on the 1st, March 1st. We will make the announcement on who won, and I will send them out later that week. Thank you for reminding me that. I usually say that at the beginning of the show, but I forgot today. How many cameras will it have? I'm guessing you're talking about on the S8. As of right now, we've only seen 1 camera on the front, 1 camera on the rear. Will it have a dual camera? My guess is they'll save that for the Note 8. What phone would you recommend that is not a Samsung phone? Mine would be an LG G4. Well, I would probably recommend the G6 when it would come out, but we don't know what other phones are going to come out. The G6 is one we know about. The Mate 9 is a great phone for an entry-level phone. We just reviewed the Honor 6X, great for that price point, so it depends. What phone? Oh, yeah. Hope you get the S8 soon, like you got the Note 7 last year. That was a fun live stream. Will there be a flat screen? It does not look like there will be a flat screen for the S8, but we will have to wait and see. All right, guys, go ahead and ask your last questions before we close this show up. What was I gonna say? Yeah, so we will be having some more videos this week. We will be having different looks at some of the videos. I have a different setup that I'm playing with, seeing how it works and if it can work to use this new setup instead of what we currently are using. So hopefully we will see if the videos look different, and if you like them, give me feedback on the new videos you see this week, guys, and I will adjust accordingly. But yeah. I had to put someone in a timeout. All right. Ricky, there's a tech giant claiming they said iPhone X first when you clearly said it first. Who said that they said it first? Who said they said it first? Because if it was Brian Tong at CNET, I know when he said it, and I said it a few months before him. Just saying, Brian. Love your show, though. If you ever want me to guest star, let me know. But yeah. But yeah. Sorry, I had to block someone. What about Verizon Fios? Is it worth the price? I have Fios from Frontier, which used to be Verizon, but they sold it off. I love Frontier for Fios in terms of speed. In terms of their customer service, they had a really rough start. I will say that. They've gotten back on track, but definitely it was a really bad start to begin with. What's the specs on your computer? I have an i7, the highest end i7 you can get last year. I have that one. The graphics card that I have is a 970 GTX. I have 16 gigs of RAM, and solid states. I have 512 gigs solid state for my main computer. I have 2 other 500s besides that, and I have a 4 terabyte external hard drive. Where is the fingerprint? Again, the fingerprint scanner's on the back. Please do a video on Google Home. I will. Ricky, you are my favorite YouTuber. Keep up the great work. Thank you. Yeah, CNET. So yeah, see, I know when Brian Tong said it. I said it months before him, and it's funny because when he said it on his show on CNET, I said that week on Android Weekly after his show, like, remember, I said it first because I had already said it 2 months before then. So yeah, I said it last year. I believe February was when I first coined the phrase iPhone X. So yeah, just saying. Um, yeah, everything uploaded. Yeah, I saw that you said everything App Pro uploaded a essay video. I'll check that out after. If it's a really good video or something I should report on, I'll do a video right after to talk about what was reported on. Ricky, I was thinking about getting an iPhone until the Note 8 comes out. What do you think? That's a good idea. I mean, it's always good to explore both. I have an iPhone 7 Plus. I like to see every phone and what it comes out with and if I'm missing anything. I just never have felt that I was missing anything with that. Um, Ricky, I was thinking, oh yeah, like promising, hoping videos will be great. Do a roast on Google Home. I will. Did you watch the Elimination Chamber? I did not. I have not watched wrestling for a while. I usually watch like highlights, what happened after. Ricky, the essay looks to beast. How much better do you think it will make the Note 8 for people that want to buy besides the S Pen? Love your show. I think the S8 is going to be a great phone. However, for me, it's kind of like wet in my beak kind of thing. I love the Note series. I always will. The Note series is the best phone of every year for the past 4 years. So I'm looking forward to that one. How many Android devices have you used as your main phone? Every single year, I use every phone we get as my main phone for at least a week, and then I use it as a secondary device after. So right now, I use the Huawei Mate 9 as my main device 2 weeks ago. Now I'm using it as my secondary device for 2 weeks. This is my second week that I've used it for my secondary device. Um, yeah, sorry guys. This user called your mom has been unfortunately saying some profanity. All right. Um, do you feel that the essay is not having embedded fingerprint scanner into the screen? It's pretty inconvenient to place it on the back. I do feel that it's inconvenient to place it on the back, but that's just me. How tall are you? You look pretty tall on your photos. I am 5'11". So, yeah. Average. I mean, yeah. Alright, guys. Thank you, as always, for watching. Again, as always, make sure you hit that like, thumbs up in the right underneath down below. It really helps me out. Thank you, as always, for watching. We'll have a lot of new videos coming out this week and some exciting ones, definitely. Alright, again, thank you again, as always, for watching. This has been RICKY, the Android Guy. Forgot I have to take an extra step to stop the stream now.